So welcome back, everybody, for another exciting edition of Maryann on Main Street, or Meet the Merchants. Today we're doing a little bit of different take. We're actually interviewing Anne Duncan Cooley. She is the CEO of the Grafton Regional Development Corporation. Most of you are familiar with that through the Enterprise Center, the building right at the Main Street Rotary. And they house a lot of work going on there. Even prior to this, Anne will tell us more, but I think the building was built 4 or 5 years ago, and what they do is some fascinating work. And once again, you know, all the businesses we've been interviewing have been right, the traditional restaurants, merchants, retail, those type of things. And Anne and her group have a different spin on it. Once again, they're in the business of helping businesses, which we are all very grateful for, not only the community, but businesses, and not just Plymouth, but the entire community. I think even outside of Grafton, Anne, I'm not, so you guys kind of have a far-reaching goals and aspects. Is that fair enough?
We do focus on Grafton County. We're the nonprofit economic development organization for Grafton County, and there's another in Coas and Belknap. There are a total of 10 around the state. So our focus is Grafton, but we certainly don't keep other businesses from coming and using services.
Sure. So what kind of services, because I know there are a multitude, but what kind of services do you offer, or Enterprise Center? What is the difference between Enterprise Center and Grafton Regional Development Corporation?
The Enterprise Center is owned by Grafton Regional Development, and it's one of our business incubators. We also are involved in the Dartmouth Regional Technology Center in Lebanon, which houses more kind of your technology and biotech type work there. Here at the Enterprise Center, we have not only office space and conference rooms, which normally are open for the community to use, not right now. Hopefully we'll get back to that.
Right.
But we also have services, free business advising services. So if businesses have any questions about how to do marketing in this environment, how to apply for any of the grants or other resources that may be available. We have a small business development center business advisor working out of the Enterprise Center remotely at the moment, but hopefully again that will change. And
Right.
She advises one-on-one with our businesses to help do business plans or work through whatever issues. So it's free, it's confidential, and you can access it by going to the New Hampshire Small Business Development Center website, and then it has advising and Grafton County, and you sign up to connect with Rita is her name, and she
Yes,
will get right back to you.
Yes, she was great. We asked her, looking at starting a new business, and yeah, we reached out to Rita. She got back to us in a couple of days, and she offered a wide range of information, and sort of helped steer us to things we never thought of, and we were able to take that back and learn a lot from her. So the small businesses in the area, in selfishly Plymouth, the retail restaurants can easily reach out to you folks and through the website. Is that the best option?
Absolutely. For Rita, you can also email connect@graftonrdc.org, and we'll send you to the right person for your need. Because we do have other things we're working on. In response to the recent COVID crisis, we have launched a website assistance program to improve websites for local businesses.
Nice.
So we found that, you know, businesses are doing a lot of things, and updating websites to be able to make it easy for people to do business with you is not always the top of the to-do list.
Yes.
So we have put aside some funding to have 0 interest, 6-month deferred payment loans to about $2,000, and we have screened some web developer companies to work with our local businesses, and then the bill comes right to us after it's done. So we already have, I think, 4 or 5 businesses. Some businesses might even be eligible for free help. So this is a way for businesses to help transition online to get some income going. And also restaurants, instead of answering the phone all the time, perhaps there's a form. And, people are using their phones to just order on the phone. If they have to actually call and maybe get a busy signal, it might present a barrier. So that's a program that we were really trying to make very accessible to our businesses to add that dimension to their
That's awesome. I didn't know that. We were in that same position. We only have one phone line, and we were certainly hearing the frustrations of people waiting, even, trying for nearly 2 hours off and on. So we did offer a website, a very rudimentary website for people to go in and order online. And, it's working very well. But yeah, certainly I would love to be happy to take advantage of, so it's not so rudimentary. And I can speak selfishly, I can speak for many businesses who are trying to implement the same, but as you pointed out, it can be costly, but I had no idea that resource was available.
So we're really trying to get the word out that that's here for the community. And Rita is the person who's talking with people about their website needs and then referring them to the helper, depending on how complex it is. We have people who have different approaches depending on the needs of the businesses. So that's one thing we offer. We do offer microloans, so up to about $5,000. And then we have larger loans if people want to purchase a business or do an expansion or something like that. So those are loans, and that's more of our traditional program, but we're trying to think of new things that could help businesses, and the website program we think could really affordably help businesses take a little bit of a new approach and low risk, because there are no interest and no payments, and it's $100 a month after 6 months. So we're not trying to make any money on this. We're just trying to get some money out into the community to do some good.
So I'd be interested in how you've helped with the various loans and grants, as as COVID is still difficult for most businesses to get through. And I know some are struggling and would certainly love some guidance, as well as the loans you just talked about. Are those loans still available, even given the crisis that's going on right now?
Absolutely. In fact, we are looking to probably have a record year in getting loans out to our communities. It's interesting, there do seem to be businesses that are being bought and sold in this community. Perhaps, to some people, it looks like a good time to retire instead, and hand the business. Yeah. And the banks, we often partner with banks and provide a little bit of a gap of money to make a deal work that otherwise the numbers wouldn't quite work for. So we've been quite busy with that. And it's interesting. You don't know what's going to happen. We're here to use our resources for the businesses of Grafton County in this climate too.
Right. Like I said earlier, most of the times we've been talking about the impact to the community about keeping businesses open. And you certainly play that role as well. Certainly a little bit different, but helping the businesses does help the community. So there's this easy tie-in. It's very interesting that you folks have been there. And like I said, the building was built about 5 years ago.
I'm thinking it's something like six years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so we do house a number of local businesses. And the other thing that we do that you and I chatted about briefly earlier is we also connect with municipalities. And as you know, municipalities are also facing their own challenges in this environment with how to work with small businesses to get them what they need to do well. And especially with the restaurant reopening, how do you work with communities to do outdoor seating? So recently we had a webinar that should be up on our Grafton RDC website soon, with municipalities talking to each other about approaches they have taken with permitting and other approaches to help businesses adapt and reopen.
Right.
So we'll be posting more of our webinars. Like everybody else, we're learning to do new things. So those will be on our website soon, and we have more coming down the road.
So we will, just so everybody knows, we will be posting all those addresses and information at the end of it, so everybody knows who to contact and get things moving. We've touched on a bit about the efforts for COVID-19. Any other things that we should know about, some additional offerings? How you folks have sort of, I'm assuming, switched gears a bit more, and maybe being a bit more, not that you weren't proactive a bit more, but I can see where it's even more important now, kind of to reach out to the businesses, maybe as a little bit different. You find that happening?
We're really stepping up, trying to get information about available resources out to the community. So, that we do have this business advising, and our capacity has been increased. We've worked to get more advising capacity because there has been such need. We've added this new program. We're looking at maybe reconfiguring some of the space in the Enterprise Center from being more open to being more individual offices. And we'd be really interested in hearing from the business community about any new needs that they see coming down the line, so we can get seminars out there or learn about advising on a new topic. I'd love to have a conversation and have it be a two-way street, so we can be focusing on what's really most helpful.
Right. We in Plymouth in particular, and I'm sure the other towns, the businesses share information. We have a Facebook page where people can reach out or help let everybody know kind of additional grants, loans, any sort of information. So I'm sure, I'll speak for the businesses, but I'm sure we'd love to have that conversation, especially as it relates to Plymouth and the struggles we're facing, and then some helpful creative ideas on how we can switch gears and still continue to be successful. I love that web idea. Once again, I know there are folks who've put out Google Docs for ordering. That may not be the best approach in the long run, but I know everyone's sort of coming up with different ways of helping the community, order or communicate in those particular cases. I just had a friend who celebrated her and her husband, 46 years of wedded bliss, and where they ordered dinner out, the business knew of this event in their life, this big milestone, and so the business, incorporated free dessert for them. So it's that kind of bonding in some way that I know has been amped up, and it's really nice to see. So very happy to take part, but I'd love to arrange, and I'm sure the other businesses, for that sort of guidance and that sort of conversation, especially where you've talked about reaching out to other municipalities. What kind of things have you learned by talking to other towns?
That it's really complicated, for starters. You have all the, ADA concerns when you're talking about putting things on sidewalks. You have people out trying to do the right measurements. How do you actually screen the different areas? It's really complex, and it's a whole new world. And then, we have the weather, so we're dependent
Right.
on that as well. So we're in a whole new world, really, at the moment, and we're all trying to cope and be creative. And it's going to keep changing. This is going to be evolving issue. I'm trying to think. I had one other idea that just went through my brain. What it's like these days. So many things to think about. But we'd be happy to, host a Zoom conversation. Normally, I'd get everybody in the room and do a brainstorm. Sure. But we certainly could do some sort of a community conversation about this, and see if there are other approaches that Grafton RDC could be taking to be helpful, because that's our role. That's why we exist, and we want to be here to help.
Nice. What kind of things have you? So PSU for our community, and I'm sure as we reach out to even the Grafton County, has a huge impact on what's going on right now, students not being here, things like, so that certainly has an impact. So have you been working with PSU and what it looks like for them moving forward? I know their model is a bit different, but we certainly rely on them.
We are definitely having discussions with PSU. I think we're all trying to figure out where the resources and needs are, and what our capabilities are, and what the best match is. Are you enjoying the clocks in the background? It's one of the benefits of working at home, is you get to enjoy dogs and clocks in the background. Yes. So yes, we're having conversations with PSU. We're having conversations with the municipalities, banks, community leaders. We've all got to share information, so we have the best take on what's really going on out there with people. We're also talking to healthcare, because they're going to be a big part, not only of serving people who get sick, but also helping our community stay well. And that's not something that some of us have really thought about a lot in the past, but certainly there's now a dimension to having a healthy reopening and staying healthy as a community, that we're going to have to be looking at from the business perspective in a way that we never did before. So that's another thing that we need to be thinking about.
Right. I know, come to appreciate in a different way everything that we have in Plymouth. You're right. From PSU to a hospital, we could go down. We have access to an airport, National Guard. We have a great amount of resources here. So it's great to hear you're touching on all those and helping, bring everybody along as this thing moves forward. And just like you said, we don't know, it changes every day, and we don't know what that's gonna look like. It is fascinating, and as a local business owner, to know even more so about your offerings and what you're doing. Anne, thank you so much for talking with us. I'm sure the business owners will be really excited, and hopefully you'll see even more of an uptake or an uptick of people reaching out. I certainly will be ringing the bell on that, and I certainly will be calling about the website. But thank you again, Anne. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Maryann. I look forward to meeting you in person sometime.
Yes, that would be nice. Thanks, Anne.
Take care.
All right. I guess that wraps it up today. Please, once again, their resources are there for the taking. Even helping with the PPP loans / grants, or the EIDL loan, or the new Main Street program. They can be complicated, but they're very, very important for our survival. So please reach out to Anne, Rita. The website addresses will all be there, and they can help smooth this process for us and help us continue to grow. All right. Have a great day.